This episode is sponsored by football's ultimate survival game. Let's see who's the final one standing. Wagwan people, and welcome along to another Fourever Arsenal. We are here to, of course, to discuss our all-time favourite love, our football team, Arsenal Football Club, and the race for the title. We've got Curtis, we've got Lee, and we've got Jack. And just before we get stuck into find out what all you guys have been up to in that, just to give everybody a reminder that Lee is still in the final one standing. He's still there. He's still standing, people. He's still there. Right now, can you beat Lee in this week's final one standing? That is the big question. He survived another week. He picked Brighton last week, which I also picked. That was a good pick, Lee.
Thank you.
He's still going strong. There's around 10,000 of you that are still in the race to outlast him for a share of £50,000. Minus Jack, that is, he's out, right? And Lee's going to announce his pick later on in the show for round 5, right? So if you want to get involved and make your pick, you can do that on the William Hill app. You just got to scan the QR code or hit the link below. You've got to be 18 or over, based in the UK or Ireland only. Always gamble responsibly. Full T's and C's apply. As I said, the link is below. Chance to win 50,000. You've got to lock in your pick by 8 p.m. on Friday, right? By 8 p.m. on Friday, you've got to do your pick. Else, you will be too late. And Lee later on is going to give us who he's picked for this week. Are you going to go with him or are you going to go against him? Guys, did you watch the exciting game last night, which was Manchester City versus Crystal Palace? Man City winning by 3-0. Both teams rested players. City, they rested Haaland, they rested Doku, they only brought him on later on. Cherky, they only brought on later on as well. But also what was very interesting, Palace also resting a couple of key players like Sarr, Strand Larson, Adam Wharton, and Palace. They were pretty shocking. I mean, they lost 3-0. It reminded me of that game I saw the other day when Tottenham played Villa, where Villa had a semi-final coming up, and basically they were on the beach for that game. Their focus was on the big game, which was the big final semi-final coming up for them. So does that give us an insight into what we can expect to face against Crystal Palace? Or also, what it also means by City winning that game is that we can't win the league by beating Burnley on Monday. We know that for sure now. We're going to have to win that game and then, hope that they drop points the day after when they play Bournemouth. It also means that after that, following that game last night, that they've got a 1 goal better goal difference than us as well, because they scored 3 goals in the game. So want to get your thoughts on that. How does it affect our mindset going into that game on Monday? Does it do anything at all? Did you expect Palace to get anything? Curtis, what did you make of it?
I just hope Palace play like that against us, but I've got a feeling they won't, just because it's Glasner's last home game, and I think the vibe will be a little bit different at Selhurst Park. But listen, we've just got to win 2 games of football. Do you know what I mean? That's it. We'd have all taken this. You'd rather be in our position than theirs. I try not to get too caught up in the City games at the moment. It's difficult. Like, I'll be honest, it was on. I had it on the TV. But that first 20 minutes, there was a bit of hope, wasn't there? Because Brennan Johnson made a couple runs. I thought, could they?
They had an offside goal, didn't they?
Offside goal. And then they just, you can tell their whole focus is on the final. And I can't blame them. It's difficult to motivate yourself when you've got nothing to play for. But we've just got to win our 2 games. It's a shame. It would have been nice to win the league at home, in a game, so you could celebrate there and then. But, so be it. We win our 2 games, we've won it. And obviously, you never know. Maybe we win on Monday and something happens at Bournemouth on Tuesday. But, all focus is just on us. I try not to get too caught up in them and what they do. But I think you're right. I think they will make changes when they play us. I don't think they'll go full strength with a final 3 days later. So, and like we've been seeing, 10 million bonus in the Eze deal. Genuinely, if you're Steve Parish, does it even benefit you to win that game? Like, there's a 10 bonus there for you. Do you know what I mean? So, but just do our job and win it. That's the main focus right now.
Yeah, you didn't watch it, did you, Lee?
No, I didn't watch it. I was playing football last night, 1-4-2. Last game of the season. No, didn't score, but come on at half time when we was 2-1 up, I think. So yeah, I've done all right. It's good to be back. I didn't. Do you know what? I didn't even really focus on that game. I knew they was going to win it. Someone said when we was warming up or whatever, they was saying that both teams have made changes, and I was quite surprised by the City changes. I have to say, when I see it, like, they rested them all, but I think that just shows what a cup final does. These players. I don't know. They might have. You might have watched the Ben White situation. You've gone in for a tackle. You're out of one of the biggest days of your career. So, that's going to be like on the back of the mind of Crystal Palace players until that final. So I don't really see them being in great form for the next couple of games. The difference is from that game to when we play them is what Curtis just said. The home game. It's the last home game of the season. Do you remember even when I played, you'd always say, "Oh, look, it's the last game of the season. Give the fans something to look forward to for next season." Like, that was one of the things that was always said. So they try and do a little bit, but mentally, like, we should be in a different zone to what they are. So, as Curtis says, they can win 10-0. I keep saying it. Let them win 10-0. Let them win 10-0. At the end of it, we would still win it if we win. I was actually speaking to Kim, Man City fan, the other day, and basically, if it was the other way round, everybody would be saying it's totally done and dusted, and it will, and it is, and that's how we've got to focus on it and just say, look, we're a good side. Enjoy Burnley and go there and get a few goals and just enjoy. So it should be a party atmosphere really at the Emirates on Monday. It's a massive game. It would have been, as you said, Rob, it would have been nice to have be going there knowing you could win the league, but we messed that up further along down the line. Results against Bournemouth, and we would have been in this position for this game to be the game, wouldn't it? But it's not. So I've got a little feeling that it might happen the next day anyway. If we win on Monday, I think that maybe like Bournemouth will get something, because Bournemouth are in pole position for Champions League. You know what I mean? So for them to and they know exactly what they've got to do, by the way, come Tuesday night. So I think that may be the game when we'll be sitting at home, or I don't know if we're going to get to the studio or something to watch that game. But that's when I think that maybe if, and I say if, when, or should I say should be after we beat Burnley.
Yeah, big game on Monday against Burnley, but I think we've got an insight into, and this is one of the, I'm going to you on this, Jack, right? This will be one of the things that City won't be able to moan about Palace if they rest players ahead of a cup final, because they did exactly that, didn't they? They rested their best players. They rested Haaland. He didn't even come on the pitch. They rested Doku and they rested Cherki for this game, right? So, and the reason why they rested those players is because they got the FA Cup final coming up on Saturday. So they can't moan at Palace if come that last game of the season, Palace do exactly the same thing and rest Sarr and rest, maybe one of their defenders, and they can't. They ain't going to be able to moan, are they?
Yeah, it's I mean, I was a bit surprised that they did rest players in terms of, like, I don't know why they're resting them right now. Maybe they are being that cautious into the fact that, if their main players, Sarr and Wharton, if they do pick up a knock now, like you said, after the Ben White stuff that went on, it could generally rule them out of the final. But I think it just gave me hope if they're willing to rest them now, that when it comes to that game 3 days before their final, like, surely they're going to rest not just them two, but yeah, I see a Lacroix rested, maybe a Richards rested. maybe they'll even rest Dean Henderson. Who knows? But I think it gave me a bit of hope that they will, not be playing their strongest 11 against us for 3 days before a final. And I don't even think it's that. I think the media are going to blow it out of proportion anyway. But I think, like we said, if it was Arsenal and we had a European Cup final, if the Champions League final was 3 days after the end of the season, we'd be sitting there thinking we need to rest everyone. We'd be sat here, got rest in, rest that, rest this. I mean, Lee wanted Declan Rice rested for half the season. So imagine we had a European Cup final 3 days after. What we'd be saying. But yeah, I did watch a bit of the game. I turned it off at 2-0, if I'm honest, when Marmoush scored. It was a good goal, to be fair. He used his body well. There was that Mateta chance. What was it, like 1 minute, 2 minutes in that, gives you a bit of hope. But yeah, I weren't really expecting anything. I think when I saw the lineups, I had a bit more hope than usual. That's why I turned it on. I was like, 8 Nori in midfield, 5 at the back or something like that. No Haaland, etc. But yeah, I think it's always been. I think we've said even before the Everton game, they dropped points there. I think we've all said that their toughest game is going to be Bournemouth. And Bournemouth need to win that game. They don't even a draw isn't really that great for them. They need to win because Brighton are right behind them, and they've probably got the more favourable fixtures last 2 games. So if they lose to City and Brighton win their games, Brighton will most likely get Champions League football above them. So it's a massive game for them as much as it is for Man City. So yeah, I think it will come down to that Bournemouth game, especially if that FA Cup final might go to extra time or something like that. I mean, not got much hope on Chelsea, but hey, in a cup final, it's a bit different. So yeah, I think it will go to that game. I guess the only sad thing is that people are annoyed about is that we won't lift it at the Emirates. After all this time, it would have been nice to lift it at the Emirates, but at this point, I don't care if we lift it. Outside the studio, we just need to get it lifted. So yeah, Palace will be good. I'm sure there'll be a few guys in disguises in the old Palace home end. It wouldn't surprise me on that last day of the season. So I'm sure we'll be all right. And then, like you said, we got the parade. Hopefully, if we win our last 2 games, there will be a parade a week after where we can all celebrate anyway. So yeah, let's just worry about getting them last 2 over the line rather than where we're going to win it.
Funny enough, as you say that, right? I've got a friend who's big Palace fan, and he sent me something yesterday, right? That got sent out to all their season ticket holders. Enhanced security measures will be in operation for the fixture against Arsenal. Ticket sharing is disabled. Any supporter found sharing a ticket will be banned from buying a season ticket or membership next season. There's going to be enhanced security checks that will be in place with searches on entry. Tickets are only available to Crystal Palace accounts registered before the 1st of December. And supporters are encouraged to arrive early to ensure smooth entry. So they're obviously looking at it and thinking to themselves, they saw what happened at West Ham. I told you when I was going to that game, literally everybody I met, right, was like, there are Arsenal fans who are going to be sitting in the West Ham end. And I think they're going to be looking to try and avoid that because they know that every Arsenal fan will be trying to get in the Crystal Palace end just to be there at that game because it could be the decider. Like you guys said, I mean, I just, in watching that game yesterday, it just gave me an insight. There is no way that City could moan at Palace if they rest players because they did exactly the same thing. They got a big cup final coming up at the weekend. I think how Pep looked at it is like, listen, yeah, of course we're still chasing the league. I've got a good squad. And you know what? The priority probably is, for me, the thing that I've got control over winning is that FA Cup. So let me keep back the main guys for that. You know what I mean? Because, probably, unless it's a disaster, Arsenal are probably going to win it. That's probably how he looked on it when he was making that team selection. Not that he's, thrown in the towel or nothing. Obviously, he hasn't. But I tell you what, like you said, Curtis, what they're going to face against Bournemouth won't be the flat atmosphere and, the sort of on the beach type game that we saw last night. That'll be an intense game. You won't want to be playing that game just after playing the FA Cup final. I actually think Chelsea are going to give them a good game. I saw Chelsea against Liverpool the other day. Chelsea, they're a funny team. they can get up for them big games, and it's the only thing is their chance of in a really poor season. It's a chance of them winning an FA Cup.
Extra time, Rob. We want extra time.
Yeah, we want extra time.
Yeah.
And it could get Chelsea into Europe as well. Remember, they're looking unlikely a European place at the moment. At least if they won that, they'd be in the Europa League. That's where Chelsea are at the moment. So don't expect Chelsea to go into that in half measures.
I was speaking to my Chelsea mate Jordan yesterday. He said he's more up for Tuesday than the cup final.
Tuesday.
Yeah, playing Spurs. He says they're more up for that game than that.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel that Chelsea, like as the players, they'll be really up for that game because it's you know what we've had that over the years with Arsenal when you've had a shocking season, but you can salvage it by winning an FA Cup, right? You saw Tottenham last year; they salvaged their season by winning the Europa League. So that will be a testing game for City, and then a few days after that, you got to go away to Bournemouth, and we know Bournemouth are a very good side. Not just the fact that even when we played them away, that was a tough game.
Brighton have Leeds away who are in form at the moment, so there's no give me there for that one, So
yeah.
And as I said, Bournemouth know what they're doing and all that, Just going back to this fans in the home end, do you think that's something that it's got to stop? I know that we see a few and everything like that. It's not good, is it? I wouldn't like it if it was. I'm sitting in the home end and you've got Spurs fans in there or whatever. I do think I get it. That people want to go. I don't know how they want to go to these games and sit there and not be able to, sit on their hands and. I wouldn't be. I could not do it. I wouldn't be able to.
So you get recognised.
I'd get recognised for one, but two. It must be an hard watch as well. Not celebrating all that. Our good mate Benny had a West Ham screenshot on his phone just in case anybody sees his phone, and then you had to really put his head in his hands when Arsenal scored and all that, pretending that they'd it is a difficult thing to do. I think, and it seems to be a lot more now than back in the old days, Rob.
No, listen, I can tell you guys, I don't know if I've told this story before. It's a really funny story, right? About when Arsenal won the league at Tottenham. Yeah. So a friend of mine went to the game, was in the Tottenham end. Yeah. Because he was just like, I've got to be there. Right. So he's in the Tottenham end. And obviously, you got to you definitely got to hold it down there, or you could end up not being living after that game. Right. So, he rode it out, the game. But during the game, there was a guy next to him. So obviously they know, innit? It'd be like if we are at home, who the different people are around you. When someone's, because they're all season ticket holders, when somebody different is there. So he said that there was one guy next to him, Tottenham fan, who was chatting to him the whole game. He was going, "Oh, mate," he goes, "So what? How'd you get the ticket then?" So he goes, "Yeah, I got it through my mate." And then he's going to him, he's chatting to him, and he goes, remember Tottenham, they got that last minute penalty, Lee? Yeah. So they're all jumping up and celebrating. So he had to get involved and that. And then obviously they equalised, and the guy next to him was going, "Oh, it's brilliant. At least we've stopped them." Right. And he's saying to himself in his head, he's going, "No, you ain't stopped us because we still won the league because we only needed a draw." Right. And then the guy realised and he's going, I hate Arsenal, man. Right. And then he was going, anyway, mate, he goes, "Listen, if you ever need to get any tickets for any more Tottenham games next season, let me know and I can sort you out. Give me a number." So he said, "Yeah." My friend said to him, "Okay, yeah," because he's going along with it all. Takes his phone out. He had an Arsenal screenshot on his phone. So when the guy saw it. So my friends fought to him. I have to give him credit. He fought quickly. And he goes, "Oh, bloody hell." So he then showed it again to the guys. "Look at this." He goes, "It's my kids." He goes, "I tried my hardest to make them support Tottenham, but they're all bloody Gooners, aren't they?" And he goes, "Look, they're always messing around my phone. Look, they've done this now, change it." And then the guy goes, "Yeah, you know what? My kids wanted to be Arsenal fans as well, but I stopped them and all that." And that's how he got around it. And then when everybody left that, he sort of went like he went to leave and then came back in. And he said he had to stay in the ground for about 25, 30 minutes, man, just to make sure that the guy weren't sort of telling people outside maybe that he was lying and they were laying in wait. But it's a dangerous thing to do.
Well, I think it's very dangerous.
Yeah, I've done it before. I don't know if you remember. I think it was 2017 FA Cup semi-final. We played Man City at Wembley.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine says, "Oh, I've got a link for a ticket for you." They said, "You got to meet this guy, Bobby Moore statue at this time, whatever." So I'm wearing my Arsenal shirt, but underneath a jacket. So when I get there, I'm on the phone to him. He goes, "Yeah, he's standing there now with his dad, blah, blah, blah." So I'm looking, there's two guys there in Man City shirts. So I'm like, he's describing them, the banger. So I go up to him. It is the same guy. So he goes, "Oh, got a ticket for you." So I'm looking at it. It's like Man City. And so I'm like, "Oh, man, what am I going to do now?" He goes, "Oh," he's talking to me like I'm a City fan. He goes, "Oh, big game for us today." I'm like, yeah, big game, yeah. So I think, just get the ticket. So I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble now. So I go in the end. I'm sat there by myself. I'm close to the Arsenal fans, but all these City fans, they're like drunk. They're all like going mad. They're singing Blue Moon and all that. So anyway, Aguero chips the goalkeeper. I think it was Peter Cech. This lad next to me was chatting to me the whole time. Oh, Aguero, chatting about all the players. So when Aguero scores, the guy like turns to me like, yeah, like he's grabbing me and that. So I'm just like, I'm stood up, but I'm just like, because I'm devastated. I'm having to, and they're all singing Blue Moon. I'm like, oh no. And then we equalised. I think Monreal scored. Ox whipped it in. Monreal scored back post. So because I had so much energy, I just needed to like make some noise. So I started just moaning. I was, "Oh, what are you doing?" Like pretending I'm annoyed. And then in extra time, I think Sanchez scored in extra time.
Yeah.
And all the Arsenal fans are going mad, yeah. But I'm right near the Arsenal fans, so they're all like swearing at me and sticking their fingers like you. So I'm like, so anyway, I've just ran down the stairs, come out the ground, because I thought I need to get away from these City fans. So I've took my jacket off now, ran around to the Arsenal fans just to be with the fans. As I'm going to the Arsenal fans, the two guys who sold me the ticket, they've seen me in an Arsenal shirt. So the guy's just walking by me like that, looking at me, thinking, "You hustled me, mate." Man's an Arsenal fan the whole time. So I'm like giving it to the City fans. It's just like, oh man, but it's dangerous though, isn't it? It is dangerous. You ever get the Arsenal fans getting thrown down the stairs at West Ham?
Yeah, that was bad, wasn't it? But I understand, that's the risk you take, isn't it? I wouldn't do it like, you know what I mean? I just wouldn't do it.
Especially the nature of the goal as well. I mean, you can imagine they weren't going to be happy, were they? I mean, an Arsenal fan celebrating that. I mean, it's very, very risky, man. I also remember one time, it was when Hull City were in the Premier League, and they played Arsenal. I don't know if we're playing them, and they went 1-0 up. I think they had a Brazilian guy playing.
Brazilian got a great goal.
Giovanni.
What was his name?
Giovanni won it.
Giovanni, yeah. He scored. He scored a screamer. Yeah. And this fan, he's an old boy. He was an old boy. He jumps up, right? And sometimes you just have these. It's like a moment of silence where everyone's just sort of like. And next minute, I just heard like a fan just turn around and goes, "What the effing hell are you doing in here?" And it just kicked off. And he was an old guy. And then there was these fans around him. Obviously, he'd come with them. So they were then trying to protect him. And they were saying, "Oh, leave him alone. He ain't done nothing. Come on, look at, he's an old boy." And then I remember the guys going, "Listen, I'm just living the dream. I'm a little old Hull. And I'm living the dream." And some guys goes, "Living the dream, F off out of here, you." And then next minute, the stewards had to come and get him, and they chucked him out. So it's risky, man. It's very risky. But listen, a lot of people take the risk, man, because they just want to be there for that moment.
Well, when we played Southampton in the FA Cup, I got 2 tickets through the football club. Like you always get 2 tickets through the football club, like because you're playing it. And anyway, me and my dad went, and we goes. And when we get there, they're in the Southampton end, which is never normally happens. Like, you know what I mean? So, for Christ's sake. So what we done, I said to my dad, like, you know, let's go to the Arsenal end, and if we see a couple of Southampton fans in colours and whatever, we just say, do you want to swap? Like, you know what I mean? So so Dad said, all right, well, I'd rather do that, like, and you know, and love and behold, a couple of Southampton fans come along. We said, look, do you want to stop? Do you want to swap? Like, you know, and they said, oh yeah, we swapped, like, you know, I mean, we gets there and we had the loveliest view and everything. I don't know what they had. They might have had a right now horrible view, but it didn't matter, like, do you know what I mean? So that's how we got away with that one, like, you know. So, but I wouldn't even that cut for my dad was going, I don't want to go in here. I said, look, we're sorted, Dad. Don't worry, like, you know what I mean. I think if we couldn't have swapped those tickets, even though we've gone all the way to Wales, I don't think we'd have gone in, you know. I couldn't enjoy it. I wouldn't enjoy it, you know. Yeah.
So it's like sometimes when I've been in a couple of times when I've been in a box.
It's different in a box, Rob.
Yeah, and you're in a box sometimes, right? And there's like fans of other clubs in there, and the fans of it, and I can't enjoy it. I'd rather be with the fans, man. You're in them boxes there, like, you know, he's sat next to a guy, he's Man United, another guy, he supports some team in the Championship. Oh yeah,
it's their first game ever.
Also doing okay, you know, like I'm thinking, okay, we're playing shit, man. I mean, get off my. I mean, like, bro, I don't know, man. I want to be with the fans, man. Like, it's not the same. It's definitely not the same, man. You know, but I was when we beat PSV. Was it 6-7-0 away? You remember that game?
Yeah.
The Champions League. We was in those FIFA ends, and then we was around all PSV fans, but we didn't go mad until about the 5th, 6th goal.
That's nice of you. That's very kind.
Have you ever done that, Jack? You ever been in the other end?
Yeah, I was. Sorry for the viewers at home. You probably see me having a fight in my setup for the past 1 minute. My mic started falling down and everything. So, but yes, I actually went to the West Ham game. Was it last season? Season 4? I think it was last season. Yeah. Won 4-1, 5-1. Havertz scored a kit. Yeah, Wanyeri played. He was in the black kit with the Lynx Africa kit. And I was row 1, and their manager was Lopetegui at the time. And they were like, he was on the brink of going. And so I pretty much did what Curtis was saying earlier, that I was sat around a load of season ticket holders. Luckily, I was with my mate who brought me, who was a West Ham fan. So he sort of, you know, showed me how to act and where to walk and how to look and stuff. But every time Arsenal would score, like, I would just stand up, oh, get him out, it's his time, get him out. And it'd be that way of standing up and shouting. And yeah, look, I was right behind him as well. Like, it was as close as he could be to the manager. So Lopetegui's just getting it from an Arsenal fan for no reason, really. But it's funny because at their stadium as well, the Arsenal fans, it's like they have, especially the ones in the bottom tier. Like, you guys would have been there the other week, but it's like their own stand just by that goal on the right. It's like, it's weird. It feels weird to other stadiums. It feels detached from everyone. So I would just look over, and I remember always looking over and always just seeing the guy in the orange jacket. You know,
that guy,
who's all over the TV and stuff. The guy in the orange jacket. I could always just look over and just see him like directly in my eyesight on the right. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, I think it's more the fact of I can see why it happens. You know, I mean, I definitely won't be in the Crystal Palace home end coming up, but if it's something big, a Premier League lift, you know, a final of some sort, I think fans just want to be there. I think it's just how you behave. Like, I know we laugh about it, but realistically, if we're going to sit with a load of, I don't know, Palace fans and they're getting, you know, smothered and it's 4-0 and stuff like this, you can't be sat there singing Arsenal songs or jumping up and, you know what I mean? That's more disrespectful. I think if you do go and you are lucky enough to go in the home end and, you know, you got friends there or whatever, you have just got to keep it quiet and, you know, get your lock screens ready. Mateta on the lock screen. But I think the West Ham issue was that the way, like, the goal was scored. I'd hate to be in the Palace end and it's 0-0 in the 85th minute and City are winning and we're about to lose it all, and then we score a 90th minute Gyökeres goal or something. There's no way you can sit in that home end and just sort of no. There's no way. Like, it's not humanly possible. I think you'd have to jump up or you'd have to start laughing or smiling. But hey, to any of the fans that are doing it, you'll probably at least be a little bit safer at Palace than West Ham. So good luck. Don't get thrown down those stairs. But yeah, I would say you're probably going to have to sing.
Surely that must have hurt when he went thrown down the stairs.
Yeah,
he tumbled, didn't he?
He tumbled all the way down, boy. They don't mess around, West Ham fans. That's the you gotta be careful when you go there, man. We know West Ham fans don't play.
But it's the risk you're taking. If he did celebrate, and got a bit cocky among the West Ham fans, hey, he's got to hold that, and he's got to hold that. But hey, I hope he's good.
Boy. His back must be hurting him right now, man. But listen, the big one is Monday now. It's Burnley at home, right? How do you guys look on it? Do you just say just win? Yeah, don't matter about, or do you look on it and say, actually, no, we need to win and score a few goals? Because they are 1 goal better off than us now, in the goal difference after their 3-0 win last night. So do we need to win and rack up the goals? How do we approach this game, Curtis? Or is it just, let's go and win the game, man? Don't worry about nothing else. How do you approach this game on Monday? Because it's going to be a massive game. I think I'm hearing that Arsenal are looking to do they're asking people to come and greet the bus, just like what they did against Atletico. So listen, they want to whip up the atmosphere. They want it to be an outstanding atmosphere. They want it to be just like what it was against Atletico. Last game of the season, let's go there and really put in a really big performance. How should be the approach?
And do you know what? I'm glad Arsenal are doing that, because the only thing that can cause us a problem here is complacency. Because let's be honest, we should be beating Burnley at home, but the players can't afford to think that it's just done. They're still going to have a job to do. Burnley just drew with Villa at home and nobody expected that. And sometimes relegated sides are dangerous because you've got a group of players that are trying to probably get a move somewhere else. And, you've got... Sometimes when you're relaxed, you play better, don't you? So I think it's a case of just win. But if we get an opportunity to go and you don't want to be beating them 1-0 or 2-1 and we're hanging on and we're desperate and we're nervy at the end. Even if that did happen, we would take it. But I'd like us to just beat them comfortably if we could, and not, put us all through an emotional roller coaster like we did at West Ham. But it's just about getting the 3 points and putting that pressure on City going into Tuesday night. We just don't want to be in a situation where we're going to Palace and thinking, if we can do this, and goal difference for me is out the window now. You win both games of football, you win the league. It doesn't matter how many goals you score, but it would be a nice confidence boost if we could score a few goals. And because I do think when we beat Fulham 3-0 that day, it sort of put the pressure on City going into that Everton game with the way that we won. And then obviously we saw what happened at Everton. So I think we just got to... Listen, the prediction we'll predict later on, but I think we will win this comfortably. I'm quite confident. We've had a good break since West Ham. It's been an 8-day... I can see by Lee's face already. He's just got that 2-0 look on his face. And we'll have had an 8-day break going into Monday. So, yeah, man, I'm expecting a good performance. So, yeah, just win the game, but hopefully not too stressful.
I can't see it being a cricket score, can you? I can't, because I think there will be, I imagine it'd be like first 20 minutes, a little bit like the games that City have been playing. I think they've won their last 2 games at home 3-0, but they weren't like 1-0 up early in those games. So I think that at the end of the day, it'd be nice to score 3 or 4 goals, but at the end of the day, it's just about winning. That's all we've got to do. And I think if and when we go 1-0 up, I think that we'll be a little bit we still play within ourselves, but with a little bit of caution, like we have done in the last few games. I think, if we can get the second goal without leaving ourselves open, I think we will. So, listen, I think it's just a game where everybody expects us to win, but these games can be tricky when you're trying to get over the line. Look at Man City when they were going for their first title, against QPR, who were in the relegation zone. It was an awful game for them, and of course they got the Aguero moment at the end. So I don't think I'll be able to take anything like that. That was bad enough at West Ham, you know what I mean? So I'm actually enjoying the we ain't got a game for a few days, you know what I mean? Like, my heart rate's gone down now. I'm feeling a lot better. And I've got a weekend where you ain't got to worry about it. But come Monday, I will be so just get the job done. I don't care how we do it now. I'm not worried about if we win 4 or 5-0. Listen, I'd love it to be like that game against Fulham and we can sit there and enjoy it. It's just, I think if we get the first goal, I'll be celebrating more in relief, and then just hopefully go on and win the game. That's all we've got to do now, and if we can rack up a few goals, so be it. So be it. If we can get 4 or 5 goals, happy days. But for me, just get the job done. 6 points, don't matter what, is got to be the aim, and 2-1-0s get you those 6 points. So that's how I see it.
Yeah, I mean, same as Lee, really. I think it's just getting over the line at this point. I mean, the only thing I do worry about is the complacency, is that, we're all sat here. I think no matter what we say here, we're all expecting to beat Burnley. It's probably, out of all the games of the past, 5 fixtures, we all looked at this as the dead set win, including myself. But, they got a decent result last game. They might be, a couple players trying to show off to get a move away before going down to the Championship. So we have got to be careful. And the other thing I worry about is after review on the weekend, there might be a bit of scrutiny on any potential penalties, or we've got to watch our corner set piece routines in this game, because I can see them ready to pick out absolutely anything that we do. I'll definitely be telling the players, hold off on them set pieces just a little bit during this game, because I know we do love a little rugby tackle in the area and a little, arms around the body, and I can see them trying their best to pick up on any of that in this game, just because of what happened last week and all the, outbursts and moaning, Callum Wilson live on Sky moaning about it and all this stuff. So I think just be a bit careful about that. But I'm hoping, home atmosphere, you're not going to have the whole stadium shouting over every little thing. We're going to be supporting the boys. And I think it's a good idea as well to have that greet the team in as well, because I mean, it was tough. It was tough. Not a lot of people could get hold of a Champions League semi-final ticket, Burnley was probably a bit more accessible to a lot more people. So to give them the chance to, welcome the bus, it was really good. It was really, really good atmosphere before that Atletico, and that had the Champions League on the line, and this has the Premier League on the line. So it's just as much of a big occasion. You could call it the semi-final for the Premier League, if so. But yeah, I think it's important. I think that atmosphere definitely played a part in that Atletico game, and how buzzing it was. It was, everyone was going mental from 2 hours before kickoff. So if we can replicate that for Burnley, I think that'll see us over the line. It'd be good to see Mosquera as well. I'm sort of starting to worry now. We've had it confirmed officially that Ben White won't play again this season. So I have got one eye on that Champions League final of Kvaratskhelia, Doué, and Dembele against the centre back at right back. Not looking forward to that at the moment. So it'd be a good test just to get Mosquera, fit, ready, used to the position. I know he's played there a couple of times, obviously, but get him in a bit of a run of form at that right back position. Or maybe Mikel will surprise us. Maybe we'll line up with, Zubimendi at right back or something. Yeah. I mean, I definitely wouldn't mind that. It's just one eye on
they
that.
Say Timber's training, right?
I don't know. I've literally heard nothing on Timber for months other than soon. this is about it. But yeah, the Ben White news is a blow, and a little note on him that it wouldn't surprise me if he's played his last game for Arsenal now. I think there's a lot of rumours that he'd be moved on this summer. A lot of interest. I think there's some Everton interest, and you know, it's a sad way to go out considering what he's done for the club. But I'm sure if we leave it the Premier League and the Champions League, he won't be too fussed. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the game anyway. Like Lee said, it's nice to have a break, and you know, we can enjoy the other football, and you know, not have to stress every 3 days about the team. We got to at least get to wait till Monday for that. So yeah, it's been good.
That's a good thing. It's been like constant, isn't it? If like you play at the weekend, then you got the midweek to worry about, and then we haven't had that. So it's just nice to have a little bit of a break. I have to say, I'm enjoying that.
Good for the players as well to have that break.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Mentally,
Really,
well,
mentally.
I'd like to know what they've done this week. How many days off he's given them? You know, like, do they have a couple of days off and then come into training and have another day off, or is it or is he training them all the time? I'd really like to know that. Like, I'd like to think that they've had a few days off to just rest and recover.
Yeah, hopefully,
it's a long time, isn't it, before you play?
And they haven't had this sort of time off for ages, so no. I think it's going to be good for those players. I look at this game on Monday, and I'm like, obviously, I agree with you guys. It is just about getting the win, but I do also look on it and say, when you look at some of their last few away games, they have conceded a lot of goals. Burnley, they conceded 4 at Forest when they lost 4-1. I think their last and the previous to that, when there was away at Leeds, they lost that 3-1. And I just look on it and I say, it's for 2 reasons. Obviously, just that little goal difference thing. If, say, we could get a few goals in the game, that'd be great. But I think even more though is the sort of like, if it's like a win and a convincing win, you know, like say Fulham, those sort of wins push you on to perform again. So, you know, it's about building momentum going into that last game. It's about, you know, going into that last game with a lot of confidence. Say for instance, you score quite a few goals at home, and then you've got that last game at Palace. That gives you a lot of confidence. It then also getting into a goal-scoring mode ahead of going to play PSG. And also, I think you said it, Curtis, to put pressure on City, because if the day before Arsenal, say, win the game and win it convincingly, and the whole place is buzzing, you know, like just like Atletico, and then you've then got to go and play the night after there's been a load of noise the night before, and you've blown the team away. That does do something to your head psychologically. It's just kind of like, we have to go and win this. And actually, you know what I mean? Not only do we need to beat Bournemouth, we actually need to probably go and beat Bournemouth by a couple of goals. You know, even just having that psychologically in it, Pep would probably just be saying to them, if we won, they say, listen, just go and win that game. It doesn't, you know. But psychologically, in the fans, Man City fans' heads, the players' heads, they might be like, yeah, we need to win, but bro, we probably need to win here. We probably need to try and hit about 3. Got to keep, you know what I mean? And even those things. So it's about applying as much pressure on Man City as we can ahead of that game when they go to Bournemouth. And as we said, we're talking about having a whole week off. They haven't. They've got what we've had for weeks and weeks and weeks, by the way, which they haven't had, is they've got 3 games in a week. And they've got 3 big games in a week, which is what we've been having constantly, which is last night, Saturday, a cup final, which is going to be draining. Hopefully, like you said, it goes to extra time, but it's a draining, even when you win, it's a draining experience, isn't it? Your cup lifts and this and that, and then you got to come down and be ready for the game on Tuesday night, which is away from home, which is significant against Bournemouth, which is a very, very good side. So we need to apply as much pressure as possible. I'm so happy, like you said, Jack, they're doing the meet and greet for the bus. Get that atmosphere pumping. That there will be a tifo, I think I'm hearing, and you know, that way that just it is like a cup final. No complacency, no regular game. This is huge. Go out there, win the game, win it with confidence, and then you go into that last game against Palace, if we need to win there, with supreme confidence as well. I think it's very, very important. And guys, it's big. It's only 2 games to go. That's the other thing. I keep thinking to myself, it's only 2 games to go of this league, man. Because we've literally been stressed out since December.
Whole time, yeah. Do you know what's so amazing right now? Do you know what's so amazing is we're in a Champions League final, and I'm not even thinking about that game.
Yeah.
You said it in the last show, Rob. It's just popped. I'm like, yo, that's one of the biggest games in our club's history. And I'm just like, that's just going to be the bonus at the end of the season.
Exactly.
So it's mad, isn't it? It's mad. But I'm with you. Like, listen, we're thinking you've just got to win both games and that's it. But you do sort of, you know, it's like insurance, isn't it? You want fully comp. You don't want, you know, third party fire and theft. You got, if we were to go to Palace and end up drawing, you need to make sure the goal difference, you've covered yourself, and you'd look at that Burnley game and think, oh, that was maybe an opportunity. So you don't want to think about that. But I think we do have to use this as an opportunity just to, you know, cover ourselves if anything went wrong at Palace. So I do think we need to put a few past Burnley. Don't go all out and obviously cost yourself. But like you were saying there, Rob, I think they conceded 2 at Everton, 3 at Fulham. Forest got 4 against them. They're getting pumped away from home. So I do think we have to sort of impose ourselves as well. And like you said, that then might change Man City's approach to Bournemouth, where a win's not enough and Pep might go a bit more gun-ho. And so I think it is important to send out a message with our performance as well.
Add pressure. Pressure is what we got to try and apply to Man City. Listen, if it was them, that's what they'd do, innit?
Yeah.
They would go out there and they would absolutely smash Burnley at home, and then we'd be under extreme pressure the next day. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do, man. We need to do that, and I think if we can do that, you know, we put ourselves in a brilliant position. We will. But by the way, for people, right, we are doing a watch along to, you know, if we win on Monday, right? We will be doing a watch along on Tuesday to that Man City game at Bournemouth. So, you know, obviously it could be a major deciding game in the title race. So look out for that. But let's get into our predictions for that game. Should we just take a look at the prediction chart? And that guy's still taking my point away, man. Yeah, listen.
Yes.
Right.
Right. He's gone up in my estimations, Curtis.
Shown some bravery.
You know, like on the StreamYard thing, you can see. I could see him changing something on the chart there. You know what I mean? Putting a new thing in. He thinks I didn't see him do it. Right. I'm not accepting that. Right. I've got my 37 points. But Lee, you're in charge. Only 1 point above Jack. You're exact
had a minus point. He deserves a minus point.
How desperate is he getting? Like 1 minute late, you know what I mean? This is a guy that's been late on
2 minutes times. 2 minutes late. 2 minutes late.
I've got my man Curtis saying it was 1 minute, and 1 minute is the rule. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not being horrible. You was the one that's called this early one today. I get in here at 8 o'clock, and you're not here.
Oh, hold on. I was on time today. Thank you very much.
Not according to my clock, you weren't. 1 minute past 8, I didn't see you. Jack the Hat was missing. Jack the Hat was missing.
Clock up, mate. You need a new one. Go on, hurry up. 2-0. We
just say it, Lee. We know.
I'm not. I'm going to go 3. I'm going to be brave and go 3. I'll leave it open for someone.
3-0?
Yeah.
All right, go on. 2-0 Arsenal. I'm taking it.
Jack, you're an absolute scumbag, you are. You know that, don't you?
Thank you very much. Especially when that point's gone as well. I'm going to be flying ahead, mate. Cool.
I'm going 3-0 as well.
Yeah, okay. Keep it in mind.
Come on, Lee.
I'm going 4-0.
Oh,
4-0.
Curtis, mate, you can't do it, man. If you come bottom, you get that wooden spoon, mate. It's over.
Yeah,
4-0.
no, but we'll see how it goes, man. 3-0.
I'm going 4-0, man. The atmosphere.
Listen, if we win 4-0 and you get that right, I don't mind finishing bottom of the league. I love to see us win 4-0.
Anything over 2, and I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going. I just fancy the Arsenal. They're gonna. This is the atmosphere in there. It's gonna be like a cup final. And like you said, the only way I can see us not really performing on that day would be complacency. And I don't think they're going to be allowed to be complacent because of the atmosphere. I really don't think so. They're so close, man. We just got to bring this home now. 2 games, 2 winnable games.
Yeah.
We just got to go and bring this home. We've done the hard work. So, you know, we're going to get into the comments. Just before we get into the comments, actually, we're just on VAR decisions, and I'm sort of segueing a bit, right? But because that is true what Jack's saying. You've got to be careful of those little things now, because there will be some refs and some people trying to get a little bit of revenge on us, even though I think it's been universal that every single person that's looked at that has said it was a foul. So I don't even understand why there's a debate now. The debate's closed. Everybody agrees that it's a foul. You might say, oh, yeah, but I've seen Arsenal do this and do, which, you know, everybody says it was a foul. And by the way, Arsenal have not had any red cards this season either. Like, just goes to show you that we haven't been a dirty side, right? But did you guys see that one last night at Celtic?
Oh,
wow, yeah.
And that one, right, because Hearts, if Celtic could have drawn that game, they would have had to have beaten Hearts on the last game of the season by at least three clear goals.
3 clear goals.
And now all they have to do is beat Hearts at home on the last game of the season. Now, I don't know if you guys saw that one. That one, for me, is scandalous. The guy's headed the ball. And it was not on. It was on the pitch. The referee said, no, it's not a handball. And he was sent to the screen. And after 20 seconds, this is why when we say, you know, I mean, we some people are moaning about how long that one took on the weekend. I was saying, listen, I'd rather them take them time and get it right. After 20 seconds, he gave it. And by the way, you know, I don't know if you guys have heard the audio of the Arsenal.
Yeah, I heard it.
Even when before the strike by Callum Wilson, the VAR guy's going, oh, that's a possible foul there on the goalkeeper. Even before he shot the ball. I don't know if you guys saw that.
yeah, it was definitely.
Well, that Celtic one, oh my God.
You have to say, this is what I say about it. It's great for Scottish football, all right? With you, forget about who you support. We was in the clubhouse yesterday, and about 5 of us, we watched that game now Saturday morning, right? Where you wouldn't have watched it if you know, they got to win by 3 goals. So have they done that deliberately? I don't know, like, you know what I mean? To make it such a great game, a spectacle for Scottish football, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's a big game now in Scotland, isn't it? Like, you know, and it's all to play for. You know, Hearts have to draw, Celtic only got to win. But I do think
scandalous decision.
Scandalous. I think it's scandalous. When we see it, we said we couldn't believe it. We was watching on the screen. We didn't. The sound went on the telly last night, so we don't. I still don't know whether it's for handball or did he headbutt him. Like, I don't know what happened, but
this is for handball. They're saying he handled the ball. You can see by even the direction the ball's been headed off. The keeper's not the referee's not giving it on the pitch, so it's not a clear and obvious error. And you can see why people are saying, "Oh, that was just went to Celtic." You know, I've got nothing against Celtic, but went to Celtic because it was Celtic. I mean, that's what I said the other day. It's not the VAR. It's the people who are running it. I don't understand how he could say. And after 20 seconds, so I'm just drawing it as a parallel because there was a lot of people moaning and saying, "Why did it take so long?" I think it took that length of time because they wanted to make sure they got it right because they knew the magnitude of the decision they were about to make, and they did get it right. Maybe they needed to have taken that time on this one as well, but
no VAR slander from me this week, mate. I'm team VAR for the foreseeable. Well done, VAR.
Hey, I've seen people printing after review on the back of their shirts after review 19.
Yeah. I've seen that as well. I've seen a couple of tattoos as well on the timeline.
Yeah,
mad.
Yeah, big up VAR, mate.
Okay, well, Lee. By the way, what's your pick for final one standing?
I was debating the Man United Nottingham Forest one, but I've gone for Brentford. Brentford to beat Crystal Palace. I'm thinking that Crystal Palace are probably like not going to be at it. And as I said, Brentford got to win this game for Champions League, so I've gone for Brentford.
Oh, I think I'll go with that. I don't think I've done Arsenal yet.
I've done Arsenal against Fulham, so I couldn't.
I've done Arsenal.
I ain't done Arsenal. I'll go Arsenal.
It's the banker, isn't it? Really, like, you know what I mean. So
I'm gonna go.
If you're doing Arsenal, boys, I wish you through to me next time. Jack, who are you doing?
He's out, isn't he?
Jack's out, mate.
Why is he saying that like he didn't know? Oh, this guy, man. You see, you guys
Don't bite, Jack. Don't bite.
I know.
So William Hill,
I'm going.
They're very pleased with me, like, you know, to go 5 rounds in, you know, on my first attempt. You know, it's not for everyone. This.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna go Brentford with you, Lee. To be honest.
Ah, okay, you're my man. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I go with Brentford.
Arsenal's
they need to win.
Arsenal's the banker. Let's get into our comments of the day. I'll just do one quickly. John Tara 885 says, "I just want to know if we get to the last day and we beat Palace away, will they hand over the trophy at Palace or move the players quickly to the Emirates?" He said, just asking. He's obviously not seen us lift a trophy before that, right? It would be done at Palace. They would present the trophy at Palace if we won it on the last day. Of course, they have this thing where they can also bring it to City if they have to bring it to City, or the helicopters on the go and stuff like that. But yeah, it would be handed over at Palace.
Yeah, I've got one from Andrew. He's you know, I'm taking a bit of praise here, people. So, you know, he said Curtis's ball knowledge is impeccable. Big up C Unit. So big up Andrew. The check will be in the post.
He's ridiculous, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Let him have it, man.
Let him have it. I've gone for K-Man. Love Lee and Curtis. It's like they're in sync with their laughter, and the jokes go right over Robbie's head, like, you know. So
it's because they're not funny.
He's done it. He's done it. I got one here saying, "Get Lee off this show. He keeps robbing Jack off points. He deserves a -point. This is an absolute disgrace. I can't believe it. Corruption at the highest sort." No, I'm joking. I got one from ES Liquid saying, "Seeing this pod line up is like seeing MLS, Rice, Eze, and Gyökeres in our starting 11. You know you're in for a good show. This is our year. Come on, you Gunners." So yeah, I like that one. Big up, ES Liquid.
COYG. Guys, thank you very much. And don't forget, if you want to enter Final One Standing, the link is in the description below. You have to be over 18, based in the UK or Ireland only, and T's and C's definitely apply. Guys, the game is on Monday, so we'll be back with our next Fourever Arsenal the day after that on the Tuesday. Yeah, it's going to be 2 monumental games to go for Arsenal. Let's hope we get the job done and for the first time in over 20 years, win a title. Guys, thank you very much and see everybody very soon. Keep following the show.